Imagine you are talking to someone and instantly understand what they are thinking before they even say a word. What if you could read their emotions, their intentions, and even their hidden thoughts just by observing their body language? From the way they cross their arms to a quick flicker of emotion on their face, people reveal more than they realize. This isn't guesswork, it's psychology. And it's exactly what we will be covering here by breaking down Patrick King's book titled How to Speed Read People. He shows how tiny details can expose emotions, personality, and even hidden motivations. So, how do you spot these signs and actually use them in real life? Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll start seeing people in a whole new way. Always remember, no one acts just randomly. People often have reasons for their behavior, especially when they're in groups. Some stay quiet, while others dominate discussions. Some seek risks, and others shy away from them. Personality is like a blueprint, shaping how people think, feel, and react in different situations. And if you know how to read that blueprint, you'll start to understand people on a whole new level. Everyone carries a mix of traits that define their personality, and some patterns are easier to spot than others. It's important to understand that there are 5 big personality traits, also known as ocean. Each of these sits on a scale, meaning no one is completely one way or the other. The first one is openness. A person who is high in openness seeks new experiences. In contrast, someone lower on that scale likes familiarity and routine. The second one is conscientiousness. Conscientiousness is all about discipline and responsibility. Some plan every detail of their day, while others take things as they come. The third is extroversion. That's energy from social interaction. But not everyone needs a crowd to feel alive. Some thrive in solitude. Personality trait number 4, agreeableness. It determines how cooperative or competitive someone tends to be. And lastly, neuroticism. That's the emotional roller coaster. Some handle stress calmly, others feel it deeply. When you start recognizing these traits in people, things get interesting. A coworker who constantly organizes and plans? High in conscientiousness. That friend who's always looking for new places to visit? Strong in openness. The one who avoids deep conversations and keeps things surface level. Probably a thinker rather than a feeler. You see, personality gives us a broad understanding, but actions speak louder than words. The way people move, sit, and react tells us a lot more about them. People say a lot without speaking. A glance, a shift in posture, or the way someone folds their arms can reveal more than words ever could. The tricky part is knowing what to look for. Every movement, whether intentional or not, carries meaning. Some signs are clear, others happen fast and are easy to miss. Facial expressions are the first giveaway. Some emotions are universal: happiness, anger, sadness, fear. These show up the same way on everyone's face, no matter where they're from. Then there are micro-expressions, tiny involuntary reactions that last less than a second. Someone might agree, but if their eyes show doubt for a moment, it means they're hiding something. Recognizing these moments takes practice, but once you do it, it becomes easier to tell what someone is really feeling. Beyond the face, body language adds even more clues. When someone feels relaxed, their movements are smooth and their shoulders stay loose. Stress, discomfort, or defensiveness shows up in little ways. Crossed arms, clenched fists, stiff posture, even small actions like rubbing the back of the neck or tapping fingers on a table can be signs of nervousness. People often try to soothe themselves unconsciously through pacifying behaviors. touching their face, playing with a ring, or adjusting their clothes. Even the way a person stands or leans speaks volumes. A confident person holds their space, stands tall, and makes steady eye contact. Someone who feels uneasy might sway on their feet or turn their body a bit away, almost like they're ready to step back. And then there are the feet, one of the most honest parts of body language. People often point their feet toward where they want to go. If someone's feet are aimed at the door during a conversation, their mind might already be halfway out of it. However, reading these signals isn't about jumping to conclusions from a single gesture. Context matters. A person crossing their arms doesn't always mean they're defensive. Maybe they're just cold. The key is spotting patterns. When multiple signs align, tight lips, a stiff jaw, and a lack of eye contact, it becomes clearer that something is off. But reading people isn't just about observation. It's also about understanding what drives the feelings of someone. People aren't always upfront about how they feel. Sometimes, emotions slip through in a shaky voice, a hesitant smile, or the way someone's eyes dart away when they speak. You have to know what drives someone's feelings and reactions. That's where emotional intelligence comes in. At its core, emotional intelligence is about awareness, both of yourself and the people around you. It starts with self-awareness, recognizing emotions as they happen instead of reacting blindly. If you understand your own emotions, you can stay in control, even in stressful situations. Instead of snapping at someone or shutting down, you will know why you feel a certain way and how to handle it. Then there's social awareness, the ability to pick up on emotions in others. Some people mask their feelings, but there are always signs. A coworker saying, "It's fine," with a tense jaw? Not fine. A friend laughing while their shoulders stay stiff? Something's bothering them. These little cues tell the real story. The better someone is at picking up on them, the easier it is to respond in a way that actually helps. How people use humor also says a lot about them. Some joke to lighten the mood, others to deflect. Lighthearted teasing can signal confidence, while excessive self-deprecating jokes might hint at insecurity. Sarcastic or dark humor, especially when it's used to bring others down, often reveals underlying frustration or cynicism. Not everyone wears their emotions on their sleeves, though, but the right questions can uncover what people truly think, even when they don't realize it themselves. People are careful with their words when they know they're being watched. Ask someone directly if they're ambitious, and they might give the answer they think sounds best. But ask them what kind of projects excite them, and suddenly their true motivations come to the surface. The way people talk about their experiences, interests, and frustrations reveals far more than a simple yes or no ever could. Indirect questions help uncover real thoughts without making someone feel like they're being interrogated. Instead of asking, "Are you a risk taker?" asking, "What's a decision you made that felt risky at the time?" forces a person to reflect. The way they describe that experience, whether they emphasize the excitement or the anxiety, says a lot about their comfort with uncertainty. One way to dig deeper is through the 7 stories exercise. By identifying 7 personal achievements that feel meaningful, patterns start to emerge. Some people feel proudest when they solve problems. Others may find joy in moments when they unite people. These details hint at their true values, things they might not even realize about themselves. Another technique uses word associations, an approach that taps into subconscious thoughts. If someone is asked to describe a body of water in 3 words, those words might reflect how they see life: calm, chaotic, unpredictable, The same goes for descriptions of animals or colors. These subtle clues show how a person perceives the world and their place in it. What people say directly is often filtered. They adjust their words based on who they're talking to, what they think sounds good, or what they wish were true. But when given space to reflect, or when asked the right kinds of questions, the real answers start to show. And once those deeper layers are uncovered, understanding someone becomes a whole lot easier. Remember, people's words and actions are just the surface. Beneath it, hidden forces shape the choices they make, often without them even realizing it. Most decisions come down to two simple things. But people like to believe they make choices based on logic. These two things are avoiding pain or chasing pleasure. Every choice we make, like staying in a dull job for safety or taking another slice of cake when we're full, is driven by our desire for comfort or fear of risk. Some choices are tied to basic survival needs, while others go deeper. Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs explains how people's priorities shift over time. First, there are the essentials: food, safety, and stability. Once those are covered, the focus moves to relationships, achievements, and self-fulfillment. A person struggling to pay rent won't be thinking about personal growth. They're focused on making it to the next paycheck. But someone who's financially secure might start searching for meaning, looking for challenges, or chasing a bigger purpose. Different personalities are driven by different things. Some crave affiliation. They want to be part of a group, feel accepted, and avoid conflict. Others thrive on achievement, always setting goals and pushing themselves. Some people seek power. This could mean leading others, influencing decisions, or showing their independence. These motivations aren't always obvious, but once they're recognized, it becomes easier to predict what someone values and what decisions they'll make. When things go wrong, people often use defense mechanisms. These are mental tricks that help them avoid uncomfortable truths. Someone who often misses deadlines may blame their boss for setting unrealistic expectations. They might avoid admitting that they have trouble managing their time. Someone who gets rejected might act like they never cared in the first place. These habits aren't always conscious, but they shape behavior in ways people don't even realize. Understanding these hidden forces makes it easier to see why people act the way they do. But to fully understand why people behave the way they do, we need to look at where their childhood experiences start. Because people don't start off as a blank slate. From the moment they're born, every experience, every interaction, and every relationship leaves a mark. The way someone was raised doesn't just shape their habits. It affects how they see the world, how they handle relationships, and even how they react under pressure. One of the biggest influences comes from attachment styles formed in early childhood. A person who grows up feeling secure, knowing they can rely on their caregivers, tends to build strong, stable relationships later in life. Someone who often fears abandonment may develop an anxious attachment. This person needs constant reassurance in their relationships. Others take the opposite approach, becoming avoidant, keeping their distance and pushing people away to stay in control. And then there are those with a fearful attachment, craving connection but not knowing how to trust it. Self-esteem also takes root early. A child expected to be perfect might grow up feeling inadequate. They may always push themselves, yet never feel satisfied. Someone who is ignored or criticized might struggle with self-doubt, hesitating before making decisions. On the other hand, too much praise can cause overconfidence. This happens when praise is inconsistent. A person may seem unstoppable, but might actually fear failure. Even birth order plays a role. The oldest sibling often carries the weight of responsibility, learning to be a leader early on. Middle children, stuck between an older and a younger sibling, might develop strong social skills to stand out. The youngest? Often the risk taker, the free spirit, the one used to getting attention. While not set in stone, these patterns show up in personality more often than not. Then there's parenting style, which can make or break confidence. Controlling parents can lead to two outcomes in their children. They might rebel against authority. They may also become very self-critical and doubt themselves constantly. Lenient parents may raise adults who find it hard to have discipline and set boundaries. And when parents are absent or uninvolved, that lack of support can lead to deep-seated fears of rejection and abandonment. These early experiences shape how people navigate friendships, handle stress, and respond to conflict. They discuss why some people dodge tough conversations. Others always need approval. Some shine under pressure, but others struggle. Understanding this, though, isn't about blaming the past. It's about recognizing patterns and learning how to break free from the ones that hold people back. In the end, people reveal more than they realize, and once you start noticing the signs, interactions start to make a lot more sense. Anyway, what do you think? Have you ever picked up on someone's true feelings just by watching their expressions or the way they act? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to become better with books.